Animals that eat mostly plants are called herbivores. There are many kinds of herbivores, but arthropods, which include insects and mites, are the most common. In fact, plants and the insects that feed on them make up nearly half of the world's multicellular species. Many insect herbivores are agricultural pests. Every year, they cause hundreds of billions of dollars in crop losses. To combat crop-eating insects, the US alone spends nearly $12 billion a year on pesticides. In light of this, it is easy to cast herbivorous insects as terrible forces of destruction. However, herbivorous insects are a food source for reptiles, birds, and other insects, serving as a vital link in the food chain between producers and secondary consumers. Additionally, herbivores leave nutrient-rich droppings that fertilize the soil, supporting better plant growth. Insect herbivores may also help control invasive plant species, lessening the impact of invasive plants on native plant species and agricultural crops. The deep connection between insects and the plants they eat started in Earth's distant past. Land plants evolved around 450 million years ago. Less than 20 million years later, the first herbivorous insects appeared. Ever since, plants and insects have evolved side by side in an evolutionary arms race. As plants evolved chemical defenses and other strategies to ward off hungry insects, insect species soon evolved new ways to overcome the plant's defenses. This 400 million year back and forth has contributed to the incredible diversity we see today in both plant and insect species. Over this vast evolutionary history, many insect species evolved very specific tools, enabling them to tolerate or overcome the particular defenses found in the narrow set of plants they eat. Insects like these are called specialists because they eat only a small number of plant types on which they have evolved to live. Nearly 75% of all herbivorous insects are specialists. Far fewer insect species are generalists that can eat from multiple kinds of plants. Unlike specialists, generalists have evolved strategies to overcome the numerous defenses they encounter on a variety of unrelated plants. While different herbivores vary in the number of host plants they feed on, they also vary dramatically in the parts of the plants that they eat, and in how they consume the nutrients in plant tissue. Chewers, like grasshoppers and caterpillars, have mandibles that tear, cut, and grind up leaves. Since plants are largely made up of indigestible material like cellulose, herbivores generally have to eat a lot of plant matter to get enough nutrients. Miners and borers burrow into plant leaves or stems and eat the contents. Once inside, they're better protected from predators. Many fly and moth larvae are leaf miners. Insects that feed by sucking, like aphids and plant hoppers, have tube-like mouthparts for draining liquid nutrients from plants. Some sucking insects also transmit diseases from one plant to another. Some herbivorous insects are gall makers. Galls are distortions in plant tissue that act as microhabitats and food sources for the insects that make them. When a female gall-making insect lays eggs in her host plant, substances in her saliva, or from the developing larvae, hijack normal plant growth and transform the plant tissue into galls. Larvae that have hatched inside the galls then feed on the surrounding plant tissue until they grow into adults. Galls come in many strange shapes and sizes specific to the insect and its host. Herbivorous insects and mites are an important part of terrestrial ecosystems on our planet. As human activities, including agriculture, alter these ecosystems, the complex relationships between insects and plants are also impacted. Because our ecological future is uncertain, recognizing the significance of herbivorous insects is more important than ever.